Welcome to EnRich Your Life, where financial wisdom meets everyday life. Hosted by Richard Limegruber, a financial advisor with over 25 years of experience, this podcast brings you powerful insights to make smart choices and build your financial future. Get ready to dive into practical strategies to grow, protect, and shape your financial story, one podcast at a time.
Welcome to EnRich Your Life Podcast, where we discuss everyday financial strategies to help you take control of your financial future. I'm your host, Richard Limegruber, a seasoned financial advisor with over 25 years experience, and today we're going to tackle a topic that applies to everyone. Whether you're just starting out or having already built financial wealth, we'll break down some of the biggest misconceptions people have about financial advisors, the services that we offer, and the common roadblocks people face when planning their finances. So let's just jump right in.
So, Rich, I hear that financial advisors are only for the wealthy.
This couldn't be further from the truth. Whether you're a young professional managing debt or a business owner with complex finances, financial advisors are here to help every stage of your life. Our job is to help you set realistic goals, manage your finances, and plan for the future, regardless of your net worth.
When should someone call a financial advisor?
A lot of times I respond with that question of, well, what comes first, the financial advisor or the millionaire? And it really all depends. I think ultimately when you're talking to a financial advisor, you're at a place in time where maybe you're just not sure what you need to do to help you achieve your goals. So I think everybody could use a financial advisor, but it all depends on the type of value that financial advisor is going to give somebody to actually help them achieve their goals and get over some of their roadblocks.
Financial advisors are way too expensive.
So many people assume that our services come with sky-high fees. But in reality, we offer a variety of flexible fee structures from hourly rates or asset-based percentages. More importantly, the long-term benefits of proper planning often outweigh the costs. So there is a value for every financial advisor. As an example, there might be somebody who might be looking to just plan for their children's college finance planning. And that should be a very simple financial goal to help you solve. But if you're coming to a financial advisor with a lot of debt, or you have a lot of different situations. Maybe you're coming from a second marriage and you're about to get remarried and there's children from several sides of different families. That's going to be more complex, and it's going to take more time for the financial advisor to really understand your situation so that they can help you. So what I would say is that everybody gets paid for their time. And if a financial advisor has to do a lot more work because your situation is more complex, then most likely you're going to pay a little bit more than for somebody who doesn't have a complex situation.
I've heard that financial advisors only help to pick stocks.
So investments aren't the only part of what we do. Comprehensive financial planning includes planning for your retirement, tax strategies, estate planning, education savings, and even elder care. Think of us as your financial guide, not just a stock picker. And so what I would say is, yes, do financial advisors manage your investments? 100%, and they should, right? Because there's a lot of different things that most common people don't actually think about when they're picking investments. However, when you go to a financial advisor, we're also taking a look at your current situation to determine, are there any other financial strategies that you could be utilizing to help you get to your destination quicker in a more efficient manner? Yes, we do investment planning, but we do so much more. And a lot of times, they're very easy strategies to help clients with, but the clients just don't know that they exist. Your investments are only the tool to get you to your destination. So when we talk about finances is money, planning is definitely something that we need to do. But how do we actually accomplish the planning that we're planning for? With money. So a lot of times I might see a new client come in and they have too much cash. And although cash is safe, Most times cash can actually pay very little as far as interest. Maybe somebody comes to me and they have way too much money sitting in cash when they can afford to take a little bit of risk. It's my job as a financial advisor, or it's your financial advisor's job, is to help you determine what kind of risk you should be taking with each goal.
What do you think of people who think that they can handle it themselves with some of the online tools out there?
So do-it-yourself tools are very helpful, but they can't replace the personalized advice you get from a financial advisor. Somebody who really knows you, knows about your risks, and knows about what you're trying to accomplish. We consider each unique life circumstance, what your goals are, and what your challenges are. Something an app can't do. And so it's my job, or it's your financial advisor's job, to actually go ahead and take a look at what all of your options are, and not just what AI or those financial tools might suggest for you, because they truly don't know what your unique situation is.
Are you sure that financial advisors aren't just going to take over my money?
So this is a common fear. Rest assured, we work collaboratively with you. You're in control of your money. We just provide guidance and tools to help you make informed decisions. And the way that I put it is, most people think that when you're working with a financial advisor, we're going to tell you exactly what to do and how to do it. However, we're advising you. It's up to us to really determine what you really need and then explain it to you. When you're working with financial advisors, there's a certain set of expectations that you have working with an advisor. Number one, everything that a financial advisor recommends to you has to be within your financial constraints. You have to be able to afford what we're recommending. Number two, they have to make sense to help you achieve your goals. I'm not going to recommend to somebody that they should be buying life insurance if they're looking to save for their child's education. I'm not going to recommend somebody buy real estate if they're looking for a short-term solution to investing. And I think ultimately, the last thing is that you have to be able to understand why we're recommending certain things. So a financial advisor is really there to help you get education. Once we give you that guidance, it's really the client's decision to determine whether or not they want to move forward with it. And if there's any reason why they're not going to move forward with it, it's our job to determine why and see if there's other types of strategies that you can use to actually help you achieve your goal. Markets are unpredictable, and our job is to manage risk and help you navigate uncertainty, not to make empty promises to you. So what I will tell you is, if somebody's promising you certain returns, unless it's in the contract, unless it's a fixed vehicle that you can see the return, there are no guarantees to what your investments are going to do. Obviously, we all hope that the markets do well, but there's no guarantee they're going to do well. I always give a good example. When clients come to me and they expect me to know what the markets are going to do, if that were the case, why would I come to work every day? I would just basically invest in my own investments and sell when the markets are about to go down and buy when the market's about to go up. But obviously I can't do that because I truly don't know what's going to happen on an everyday basis. So I think ultimately we can see, as advisors, we understand trends in the markets. We understand the economy a lot better, because that's what we really focus on when we're working with the clients, is how is the current situation in the economy and the markets going to impact somebody's goals, and what do they need to be doing to make sure that the things that are happening, they're going to be able to utilize when it comes to the different investments that somebody might be offered. Now that we've cleared up some of these common misconceptions, let's talk about what financial advisors actually do. Our services go way beyond managing investments. So here are some of the areas where we can provide value. Comprehensive financial planning is a holistic look at your finances, including budgeting, what's your income, what's your savings, and your future planning. The second area is investment planning. From portfolio analysis to personalized recommendations, we align your investments with each individual goal. So when you break down where the goals are and what the time horizon is for each goal, that will help your financial advisor really understand how much risk that you can take with the savings that you have for that one particular goal. The third area is tax strategies. And what I'll say is nobody wants to pay more than their fair share to the government. So guidance on minimizing your tax burden is something that we do well. And the reason why we do well is there's certain financial strategies that you can utilize, like a flex savings account or a health savings account, that you might have available through your business or through your employer, and you're not even utilizing it when you could potentially save money on income taxes by utilizing those types of tools that are available to you and you just don't realize you have them. The next area is retirement planning, using strategies like the bucket approach. And again, we talked about that, where we help ensure that your retirement income lasts. And how do we do that? By understanding when that income is going to be needed and for how long and for how much. Another area that we help clients with is estate and insurance planning. And what I would say is we could do all the planning in the world. We can help you set your goals. We can give you some realistic ideas of how long it's going to take you to achieve those goals. But at any point in time, if there was a home fire and your house burned down, or you got into a car accident and now you don't have a car, or you get disabled and can't work, or an untimely death from a loved one, well, that is where insurance planning comes in. Because if you don't have the proper insurance, all the planning in the world is not going to mean anything, because if something happens where you needed that insurance and you don't really have it, well, guess what? Now all those other goals just went out the window. Financial advisors should be looking at all of your types of insurance to make sure that you have enough liability coverage, to make sure that you have enough life insurance, to make sure that all of your income is protected. And obviously, if somebody comes in and talks to a financial advisor where there's a lot of gaps in your insurance, again, we go back to, well, how much can you actually afford? So when you're working with a financial advisor, they should be looking at your budget and should be looking at, okay, how much in your budget do you have to be able to afford some additional insurance if that's something that you might need? Another area is education savings. So planning for your children's education with tools like 529 plans and UTMA accounts. Most people don't understand the benefits of a 529 college savings plan. And there's a lot of misconceptions just alone on 529 plans. So you should really take a look at 529 plans when saving for college education, because the benefits really outweigh the negatives when we're looking at types of plans that you can actually utilize for saving for college. You always retain ownership in the 529 plan. It's just a beneficiary that can be changed. So if one of your children doesn't go to college, you can change the beneficiary and use it for another child, or you can change it and use it for yourself. But it's very flexible. And basically, a 529 plan, if your child doesn't go to college and there's no need for it, you can actually take the money out. There's obviously penalties and taxes due on some of the growth that portfolio might have had if you don't use it for college. But you should always speak to a tax advisor about that stuff, because it's extremely important to make sure that you're utilizing the product correctly. Another area is elder care and end-of-life planning. Navigating complex decisions to support an aging family member. I can't tell you how many times I meet with a family and they have several kids and they don't even have a will with guardianships. And what I advise them is to speak to an estate planning attorney, somebody that you can trust, to help you set up the proper will and estate planning documents to make sure that, God forbid, something happens to you and you're no longer with us, your desires, your wishes would actually come true after you're not here. And you do that with legal documents like durable power of attorneys, healthcare proxies, wills, and even trusts. Even though these services are available, many people face roadblocks that keep them from reaching their financial goals. Let's talk about some of those challenges. So one of the roadblocks that I help clients overcome is the lack of their clarity in their goals. Many people have a clear vision for their financial future, but that's where we step in to help them prioritize a set of actionable goals. As an example, you might come in and say, it's extremely important that I retire in 20 years. And obviously that's everybody's goal. But maybe you have a goal of sending your kid to college, and that's going to happen in 8 years. Maybe you don't have a cash reserve, and you're going to need to make sure that you're planning for that cash reserve. So working with a financial advisor, they will actually help you determine what that priority should look like based upon what you want to have accomplished. It comes down to each stage of your life has certain time frames. If you're on track to achieving your education goal, then maybe your priority should be buying a house. Maybe it should be another goal that you have because you've already taken care of the one of the goals. So prioritizing is all about what needs the most attention. Where are you lacking? Where are you furthest from the goal? Roadblock number 2 is understanding what your current strategies are and how they're working for you. Many people try many different strategies, but in life, we have a lot of people offering us unsolicited advice. We hear from our parents, we hear from our siblings, a family member who thinks that they've solved everything. Maybe it's a coworker, maybe it's a best friend, or maybe it's even a foe. The bottom line is that everyone's situation is different, and what might work for one person might not necessarily work for you. So working with a financial advisor, they're working for you. They're not paying attention to anything else but you. They're going to help you analyze what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. And they're going to be able to help you improve on those weaknesses by reviewing what your current strategy is and making sure they tell you, here's what's working well, but here's maybe not working so well. So that is why having an analysis helps understand if what you're doing makes sense. And if it's not making sense, well, what other strategies can you have? Where would you want to be in 1 year, 5 years, 20 years, and so on? Another roadblock is really risk management, and there are numerous ways financial advisors can help you mitigate risk. And risk can be mitigated through insurance, like we just mentioned earlier, covering accidents, whether you're in a car accident, your house catches on fire, and vice versa. But there's also risk when investing money. Risk on your investments can be mitigated through proper diversification and clearly defining what your risk tolerance strategy is for each individual goal. Even high net worth individuals can expose themselves to unnecessarily market risk. And what do I mean by that? Most people either they come to me and they say, hey, I'm a very conservative investor and I don't like to take a lot of risk. And then when we look at your 401k, find out that you're 100% in your company stock, which is probably the riskiest thing that you could be in. Other people say, I want to be as risky as possible and take as much risk. And maybe they don't actually need to take that much risk because they have enough saved. So the idea is risk is something that you can mitigate through diversification, making sure all your eggs aren't in one basket, and making sure that your eggs aren't all in one product. Ultimately, you want to speak to a financial advisor about making sure that you're well diversified and not all your eggs are in one basket. Another roadblock is really one where a financial advisor, not AI, can help you, and that's emotional barriers. Whether it's fear of losing control of your finances or discomfort discussing topics like estate planning, emotions often create roadblocks. And that's where a financial advisor can guide you through those sensitive areas with care and professionalism. A financial advisor can help you understand what the likely outcome is of a decision that you're going to make before you actually make it. As an example, you might go to a financial advisor and say, hey, my car just broke down and I need to get a new one. Do I buy or do I lease a car? Well, as a financial advisor, we're going to talk about the benefits of buying a car versus a benefit of leasing a car. Speaking with a financial advisor, they're going to be able to help guide your decision and help you understand after you're making that decision what the likely outcome is going to be. Another roadblock is procrastination. So it's easy to put off financial planning or making important decisions because life gets in the way, or maybe just not knowing how to do something or what the result could possibly be based upon the decision that you make. Delaying decisions often leads to missed opportunities and unnecessary stress. Talk to a financial advisor who can help you understand, provide professional guidance on every important decision that you make. How does this all come together? Every financial advisor uses their own process, and each process can be slightly different, but ultimately they're designed to provide you with guidance. You should be speaking with your financial advisor about your goals, help you prioritize those goals, and you should understand what your current strategies are and if they're actually working for you. Are there other strategies that maybe you could be using that are better for you that maybe you don't know about? You should be given a roadmap or a plan to help you address and define specific steps to help you achieve each goal that you're asking for help with. You should expect your advisor to help you implement those strategies and overcome any roadblocks you may have that could stop you from carrying out those strategies that you've been given. You should set ongoing check-in points into the future to ensure that what you actually implemented is actually working for you. And if it's not, why? Do the strategies need to be updated or revised? Your goals may have changed. The economy might have changed. Financial markets may have changed. Advice is always changing, and what you may have been recommended for in the past may not still be a good advice today. So no matter what your starting point is, make sure that your current strategies and money are working efficiently as possible for you and that you're updating and revising. Comprehensive financial planning, I use the analogy, somebody comes into my office and they take a 1,000-piece puzzle and they dump it on my desk and say, help me understand what this picture looks like, because they don't. And each piece of the puzzle could be what your income is, what your expenses are, what your net worth is, what your debt is, what your taxes are, what your goals are. And they're always changing. So every time I see my client come back in, something might have changed. They might have decided, you know what, we wanted to retire in 20 years. Now we want to retire in 15 years. What do we need to do to make sure that we're addressing that change in my goal? Or maybe there was a new law that came out that benefits a certain type of investment over another. Are you utilizing that strategy? When it comes down to it, my job as a financial advisor or financial advisors' jobs is to really make sure that you see the whole picture and how every piece of your financial life interacts with one another and what it could mean for your future. At the end of the day, working with a financial advisor is about more than just numbers. It's about your peace of mind. So whether you're navigating debt, you're building your wealth, or you're protecting your legacy, a financial advisor is here to provide clarity and confidence. If you're considering working with a financial advisor but still have questions, feel free to reach out. Financial planning is personal, and we're here to make it approachable and tailored to your unique situation. Thanks for joining me today on EnRich Your Life Podcast. If you found this episode helpful, please don't forget to subscribe and share it with somebody who you might feel could benefit from it. Until next time, I'm Richard Limegruber, and I'm here to help you navigate the road to financial success. Thank you, and thank you to LMC Media for helping make this podcast possible.